I said it's been up there for a really long time, so it needed a lot of upgrades. It needed a lot of change outs. Obviously, technology has changed quite a lot in that amount of time, so better sensors, better cameras, better imaging capabilities. So we were going to go up there and do a whole bunch of repair work and upgrade work to it. And the way we do that is basically by bringing the repair shop to the telescope in space. This is the motley crew that I got to fly with. You can see one of these things is not like the others. We do have a lot more women in the space program now, but at the time there weren't. Even then, you weren't too many of us. So my jobs were to, I was on the flight deck during launch and landing and rendezvous, and I operated this robotic arm. I used the robotic arm to capture the telescope as well as to drive our spacewalkers around as they were doing the repair work. So if you look over far to the right, you see there's a second space shuttle on the launch pad. This mission was after the Columbia accident. This mission doesn't go to space station, and so our only way to get home again would be if they sent a second orbiter to come and get us right away. We didn't have to do that. So this is the launch sequence. You can see us all getting in, getting strapped in, getting ready for this tremendous ride. We start the main engines, make sure everything there is good and gimbaling. That's what you're seeing there. And then the solid rocket boosters, which are the two rockets on the outside of that orange tank, they are lit, and then there is nothing stopping you. You're going up, 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 and accelerating every moment, and it's a pretty wild ride. For 2.5 minutes, those solid rocket boosters are burning their fuel, and you are, at this point, we actually, right off the pad, we had a master alarm, which means we had an equipment failure right off the launch pad. I don't know if you can hear any of the audio, but you can hear us talking about it with one another and saying that we know we have redundant equipment and we're going to keep going. We know we're going to keep going. There's really nothing stopping us at this point. Too much gas. But we are talking about it throughout. We're looking at all of our systems. We're looking at our displays. We're making sure that we have all the information we need. The ground control team is also talking to us, telling us what they see and that we're still safe to proceed. But you know, we spend hundreds of hours in simulators watching things break and figuring out how to fix them. You're not expecting that to happen on the real day. So that's from the solid rocket boosters looking back. You can see there's a solid rocket booster there up on the right that's coming away. And this is the other one. These are the two tumbling back, and that light up there was us. When we get to 8.5 minutes, the main tank comes off, it's all out of gas, and it falls back down to the Earth. Once we're up in orbit, we open the payload bay doors, and we get ready to get to work. So again, we're kind of going back to this animation here. You'll see the shuttle and the orbiter go racing by together. Anybody know how fast we're going when we're in low Earth orbit? 17,500 miles per hour. We're going super fast. So you can see the telescope and the shuttle, once we go through what's called rendezvous, which means we're matching our rate and position with the telescope, you can see that it doesn't look like we're moving all that fast because relative to one another, we are going the same speed. So again, this is all an animation to show you what's happening. We're basically going to fly our space shuttle up underneath the space telescope, and then I'm going to reach out and grab a hold of it with the robot arm. So that's what you're seeing here. You see all 7 of us are crammed into this tiny space of the flight deck. I'm in the pink shirt. I'm always in the pink shirt, so you know which one is me. And I'm next to the commander who's operating the orbiter. He's firing the jets to get us closer and to stabilize our position with respect to the telescope. And then I'm using the robotic arm. This is a camera on the end of the robotic arm, which is attached to the orbiter, and I'm going to reach over and I'm going to grab a hold of it. So right now you can see we're flying up underneath the telescope. So the camera is showing you the bottom of the telescope. That metal pin there is what's called a grapple fixture. And I'm going to use the end effector of the robotic arm to grab a hold of that pin. This is my view out the window, out the overhead window, and I also use camera views to help me fly that robot arm. This was a big moment for me. I'll take that short. All right, $1 billion telescope going 17,500 miles per hour, and I did not ding it on the way in. Thank you. Thank you very much.